Hello, everyone. It's your host, and your boy, Jet Black, the one and only, here with
guy over here.
And today, we're going to be doing some Dueling Nexus. I want to edit. I want to make
new stall
burn thing.
Jet, this isn't a good stall burn. You can win maybe, and you have. It's not good. Somehow, it's not good. It's gonna start from scratch. You didn't have to delete it, Jet. You didn't have to clear it. You could have just kept it because it already had Solar Flare, Boganian, Dark Sanctuary.
You do need Dark Sanctuary.
Whatever,
you are correct.
Whatever else you're gonna. What are you even gonna have a different new stall?
It's
new because we've changed the card ratios.
I do actually think I need an even amount of being able to burn as well as being able to defend.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The burn and the stall.
Yeah.
So get rid of Golden Ladybug because it doesn't help burn or stall.
I never use the level limit stuff in these decks.
Because they get worse and worse. With every extra deck type that comes out. Especially with Xyz and Lynx, they don't have levels.
Yeah, so they're just immediately immune.
Worthless. Yeah, I mean...
Later they're going to introduce
That's why everyone stopped using them. When Xyz came out. Like them and Gravity Bind. It's just because they don't have levels, so they're just not worth playing.
Are there any more that do the during phase burn thing?
Maybe, but they're probably worse or something. Or more specific.
Could you help me with some research?
How was the lab that you went to?
At the Swirl Building?
Mm-hmm.
Didn't you also do it?
Yeah. I was a bit late. I was 10 minutes late.
I don't have any color.
Because I didn't show up right on time. So they were already in some other room of the Swirl. I was I don't know where they're at. I can't go walking around the office or something. So I was just walking around the outside and I ran into a person and they're oh, they're in this room right here.
And you were like, oh, thanks, person.
I just ducked in.
Lifesaver.
Right there. And then I had to wait even longer for Coletta to finish doing whatever she was doing so that she could hand me the papers. And then I was able to... I mean, I got there before they started collecting data. It was when they're passing out the little radio remotes or whatever. So I was yeah, that's fine. I also didn't do anything.
Yeah.
I was just,
I never use Moon Mirror in these, and I don't know why I don't. It seems like it helps, say, oh, so if you're not that strong, now, if your opponent does attack you, you're still, stronger than your opponent.
Well, the whole point of Solar Flare is that they don't attack, because you have two.
Well, I'm not going to attack. That's the point.
That they don't attack. For you to attack? If you're going to use Moon Mirror, it's because you're running over your opponent's cards.
Well, I want to use Moon Mirror.
If you're not going to attack, why would you have Moon Mirror? For defense?
Yeah.
But
I'm using it
if your stall is successfully, if you have Messenger of Peace stalling, then Moon Mirror is not going to be able to be useful.
What if
it's redundant?
But that's assuming I have Messenger of Peace. What if I don't have Messenger of Peace, but I have Moon Mirror shit?
Well, you should just get Messenger of Peace, have more
you can just have
or something to get them. I mean, you could have Moon Mirror Shield in some other deck that would be more useful.
Do you feel like it's actually just not good to have?
Well, because you're not attacking. Moon Mirror is an offensive card.
Moon Mirror Shield is also a defensive
card. Not really, though.
But it is. It makes a monster not...
They're just not going to attack.
And you're going to be able
to... so they just won't attack.
Right. So it's defensive. Because then you get to keep
But if you don't attack, if you don't use that opportunity of them not attacking your Solar Flare equipped with Moon Mirror to attack with Solar Flare, if you don't do that, then Solar Flare or then Moonmirror isn't gonna ever like trigger its effect.
Well, yeah, if no one fucks with you, then you don't. You want it there, not necessarily for it to ever have to activate.
I guess. Are you gonna have like hidden armory to like search it or something? If you have 30 of them?
I do seem to have a lot less burners than I do like of stall. What additional burners would I want? Stealth Bird is weird. I feel
Stealth Bird burns more than those guys do.
I don't like that he has to Pac-Man.
I mean, that's the whole point.
I know that
he's
a
like
Pac-Man.
The swarms of like scarabs and stuff where they do things, but every time. I mean, he's useful in these burn stall. You know, like he was staple for a long time in these kind of decks, considering that he does quite a bit. Like if you have 2, that's a lot of damage every turn if your stall is operational.
Yo, Kirby, welcome to the stream. It's good to have you.
So today is the anniversary of September 11th, 2001.
That was really weird to hear someone be like, we gotta do the call out. What am I thinking about? Solar Flare, Boganian, Stealth Bird. Who else falls in this category of like burn? I prefer. Oh, Kirby, you're really good about helping with research, which I appreciate. What other monsters like Solar Flare, Dragon, and Boganian burn like during a certain phase? And Kirby said, "Oh yeah, it's 9/11." I don't know. This isn't like a memorial episode, guys.
Looking at all things that say inflict damage in their text.
Kirby, do you happen to know of more? Ryan is also checking.
There is the Earthbound Immortal that can inflict 1,200 damage when it's in defense mode, but you can't attack. And it needs field spell, and you need tribute body. You essentially need like a whole Earthbound Immortal deck. You could have an Earthbound Immortal like stall burn strat.
Kirby said Ebon Magician Curran. She burns for 3.
Yeah, I mean, there's not too many of these type of cards. A lot of them are like progressively weaker.
Yeah.
Curran is true. She's like older than I think the other 2. Or pretty old. Pretty old.
Also need more good stall solutions.
Magic Cylinder.
Would Magic Cylinder be too good if it also had a Mirror Force effect?
I mean, there's one like that.
Really?
The Flaming Mirror Force is kind of like it. You have.
Don't you hit
It's
yourself?
more like Ring of Destruction Mirror Force. Yeah, because you take the damage first.
That's gross.
Or something. So no one really plays it ever.
Oh, Kirby says he has to go now. Okay, well, it's good talking with you, Kirby. I'm glad that you're able to tune in for a bit, and hope you have a wonderful day. Let's see. Who else popped up?
There's not much in terms of continuous like damage every specific time.
Which immortal was the one who does
the whale? 4th down right there. It does damage once in defense mode. So you can just curl up and wait.
They don't summon themselves.
No.
Yeah.
Unlike the Malefics. But these actually have effects. The Malefics don't. Except maybe like Truth and Stardust. The other ones are all just, I'm a Malefic. Looking through like old things that say inflict damage, there really isn't a lot that would be applicable here.
Are there any monsters that act as like a stall thing, where it's like if this is on the field, your opponent can't attack?
There's another Earthbound Immortal card. It's a trap card. It's continuous. This is when your opponent's monster declares an attack, target the attacking monster, destroy that target. You do inflict damage equal to half. But you have to have an Earthbound Immortal with attack higher than the attack. It's a weird Earthbound support, so
yeah, weird. Probably wouldn't play.
There really isn't a lot. A lot of these are like really specific or bad.
It'd be nice if there were at least 8 more of these.
I mean, there's a lot of other burn cards, but they're like one-offs, which is probably better, for like chain burn or bad reaction, are both better burn strats, or at least more consistent or stronger, because they have OTK potentials. This doesn't. This is like a slow burn, so that it's harder to win. If they do break through your stall, they can just
right.
Yeah.
I really like the trying to maintain the stall.
I don't know, maybe like a Time Lords? There's the one that like burn damages.
And they summon themselves.
Which one is it? One's this the shuffling. It says at the end of the battle, or at the end of the battle phase, if this card battled, if your life point is lower than your opponent's, inflict damage to your opponent equal to the difference.
Well, I don't want to do.
And then I think the fire one just does like a once per turn during your opponent draws a card, inflict 1,000 to your opponent. Mid-Ion also does a bit of burn. Any of the other ones? There's this one, the Sand Ion. Is at the end of the battle phase, if this card battled, inflict 2,000 damage to your opponent. And he's 4,000 attack.
I don't really want to swing. Return as many monsters on the field. Why are all of them if they battle? Because
it's the condition for doing it. They'll have to attack. Except for Cephalion, because he's an outlier. He was made before all the others, so he doesn't have their same conventions. See, this one does inflict damage to your opponent equal to the attack of one monster your opponent controls after battles.
Which one is that?
That one's a Raphael.
So let's see.
This one is at the end of the battle phase, if this card battled and your life point is less than 4,000, life points become 4,000. So that one like regains life points.
I don't know. I don't like swinging.
Then you don't have to run.
Right. Excuse me. When is Necrolancer gonna get a retrain?
It's not. Is it even like out in the TCG? Because there's a whole bunch of normal monsters that just never got released to the TCG.
Were they like they're unnecessary?
Kind of, like they're just like the random, like kind of like filler normal monsters from early sets that just never made it over. I don't know if any of them are particularly useful. Maybe for some weird like Ixie's tour guide play. But there's usually plenty enough normal monsters for whatever those are.
What are some good general stall cards? I also like things that are
a bunch of general stall.
Also like things that last a little bit longer. Like it's not that Magic Cylinder's bad, it's just like it goes away.
Well, the point is to burn as fast as you can.
Well, I'm not here for speed.
But that's still...
I'm here for consistency.
You don't have any consistency cards in this deck. None of these are like, an Upstart Goblin or a Pot of Duality to set up a consistency thing.
I mean consistency is in like once it's on the field, as long as it's still
continuous.
There.
That's what you mean.
Yeah, continuous.
I don't know. I mean, there's some floodgates and stuff.
Are there any good continuous like traps that fall in line with this kind of thing?
Like gravity bind. There are some burn ones.
Like continuous traps that burn.
Yeah. There's that's just there's a few that I'm thinking that deal damage, but it's usually in reaction to the opponent, and it's not like hella damage. Something like Skull Imitation or Coffin Seller deals small or incremental damage. Whereas what I was thinking of is
I also like damage where the condition is your opponent made an action.
Yeah, it's just like that. There's Curse of Darkness and there's another one. Because Curse of Darkness is each time a spell card is activated, immediately after it resolves, player that activated it takes 1,000 damage. And there's another one that does the same thing but for traps.
That's really gross.
They're kind of like the reactor monsters that just like once your opponent does a thing, burn them. The reactors would at least like try and destroy it. Yeah, I mean, but that's like they're really simple burn cards for whenever your opponent does an action.
Are there any more like those for like when your opponent summons a monster, burn for a stack?
Not really.
Because if you get like one that burns for like spells, one that burns for traps, one that burns for monsters.
Once per turn, if a monster on the field is destroyed by a fire effect, target a monster on the field destroyed. Each player takes damage. There's not a lot of just burn things like that, Jay. Yeah, Chain Burst is one, but for traps. Chain Burst would be like a counter against like Chain Burn. Maybe if you could deal more damage, because like if they do like 3 or 4 traps, that's several thousand damage. But I don't know if that would ever be enough to like kill them before they kill you. There's also bad reaction, which is probably better. Yugioh pack.
No thank you. What was the spell card version of Chain Burst?
Curse of Darkness.
Because it takes a different approach.
So you want like a toll strategy?
Well, no, I'm looking at it because there are like a few different things that seem to be like, oh, if you swing,
there's another one like that is Chain Energy. It's a spell.
Is it continuous?
Yeah. It actually would probably do a lot more damage relative to a lot of things. That's
what I was asking about earlier, if there's one for summoning monsters.
Well, it's not a trap. But yeah, it's every time someone would summon a thing that's a big monster. So if you could resolve this on like turn 1 against some like real spammy like extra deck thing, and they don't have like the removal, you can deal quite a bit of damage. It's kind of like what like Red Eyes Darkness or the Flare Metal Dragon does, because he does like 500 trying your opponent like activate something.
So we have one for spells, traps, summons, attacks. Is there one that burns both players every turn just because?
Yeah, there is. It's what's it? The Dark Snake Syndrome burns both players and it increases the amount.
So you have one that's just for existing, one for summoning things. Life points, spells, traps. 6, 9, 12, 15. That'd be 15 cards.
There's also Burning Land. During each player's standby phase, the turn player takes 500 damage. And when it's activated, destroys field spells. Which would include Dark Sanctuary.
So far, so good.
Just look at all burn cards.
This would be a very different kind of strat.
Probably. There's also Dark Room of Nightmare, which is just whenever your opponent takes effect damage,
right,
300 more damage. There's also Dark World Shackles, which I kind of like.
Isn't that one like an equip?
Yeah. It makes your opponent's monsters attack 100, attack and defense 100, and they take damage every turn. So if it can be equipped, you can essentially run it over, because now it's just 100. If points is all that matters. It's like the opposite of Moonmere Shield.
I feel
weakens your opponent to really small instead of gaining you a bunch of attack.
I feel like the issue with Dark World Shackles in the modern day is like link summoning. If you put on a big monster, I guess that's the better way to do it. Also, I lost one, burning one, while dragging it. Like, whatever.
Why would that matter for links?
Because you could just be like, oh, you put the shackle on my guy. I just get rid of that guy. And
yeah, I mean, you could. That's the problem with like any of these.
Like equip based.
Well, not even equip, but like fiendish chain types.
Right.
It's like just uses like a material to like tribute it or something.
Is there one for whenever a monster effect is activated?
They wouldn't want to make that real easy.
I know there's the Red Eyes monster that does that, and I was like,
yeah. That's what I can think of off the top of my head right now.
Chain Burst and Curse of Darkness would be a lot better as spells. It seems like everything else that does essentially that, because it's just faster.
Yeah, but the point of the trap is when they activate, then you chain it. The spell, like all of these continuous spells you have there, they're all really easy to get rid of ahead of time. Like before they start, like you MST it.
You can
it's just like a wave motion can't. You just
know.
Kill it before, because it's not like a trap. The trap is that you chain it. Chainable traps are really good. Comparatively. Or relatively. Most of the time. Hopefully. Like as more chainable as you can. Usually the better.
Aromager and Golden Ladybug are the only ways that I really like heal. Right?
Why would you need to heal? You just need to burn your opponent to death. Why are you worrying about healing? If you're worrying about healing, then you're worrying about defense wrong.
Well,
you need to replace those with better defense or more burn, so as either to make you win quicker or to stop you from winning.
The ones that
healing
burn for spells and
does not help.
The ones that burn for
no
spells
one
and traps
uses healing
and burn for
cards, even in burn death, because they just want to burn.
It's weird to do straight burn. I feel like you're just gonna kill yourself. You're gonna like play like this one, and you're gonna play this one, and then all your other things are spells, and then you're gonna die.
That's why people don't play those cards.
So
not particularly good.
It just seems like you could
establish burn decks, which there aren't very many of anyway. Especially with things like chain burn, that spell being limited to like 1 right now, and I don't know, bad reaction is probably the same. Some other burn strats that I just can't think of right now. Judgment of Anubis. There's some alternate artwork censoring thing on Kozaki's self-destruct button. It, like, gives him a hat. What is that? I'm thinking maybe it's like a mind control hat, so that like the TCG will say like he's not committing suicide. He's like being mind controlled to commit suicide or something.
I feel like there's not enough context.
There's just a little hat. Like what else would that be?
I'm not sure.
There's lava golem.
Lava golem does indeed burn. It also gives my opponent like a big ass dude.
Yeah, but the whole point, because lava golem is a solid old school burn card. Because you would play like something like Messenger of Peace, or like Gravity Bind, or the level limit, so that now he can't attack, so that his big monster can't do him. Plus, he's can get rid of your opponent's monsters and inflict damage. So if you can neutralize his attack, it's a pretty solid burn strat. Same thing with like Volcanic Queen. It's similar to Lava Golem, but just requires like 1 tribute. And they can like tribute to burn you. But they're like forced to.
So your opponent gets the ability to once per turn send 1 other card they control to the graveyard to burn? Like once they have this card, they can now burn you.
Yeah, but then they also have to, during their end phase, either tribute another monster or take 1,000 damage. So they'll either lose a bunch of monsters.
They'll either like throw away their hand or
they take the damage. I mean, it's not as guaranteed as something like Lava Golem, but it's just like you're just taking the damage.
Yeah, they just like take a hit. Plus, they can still swing with this thing.
Yeah, it's the same kind of thing.
Yeah.
It's kind of useful in that before Kaijus, it's the only like Lava Golem-esque 1 tribute monster. I wonder when Nine-Tailed Fox is coming out. Probably about the time they release the Zombie World R structure deck. Probably like in a pack or like a set at the same time, because they do that often. They have a structure deck. They'll be like, here's the structure deck, but also like buy these support cards for the theme in the most recent pack. Bunch of burn exceeds 1 day of peace. Things that like stop burning. Prime Material Dragon. See, you just play this to counter your entire strat. He takes damage and reverses it into healing. Any effect that would inflict damage to a player increases the life points by the same amount. It's like a reverse burn. Because reverse burn is like anything that would heal does damage. This one does anything that would do damage. It's like 1 gates. like a nurse, or like one of those other burns. You just play it, and now their win condition is gone because they can't burn you. Like an actually used anti-burn card.
Him and Fire Princess sound interesting. Against like a burn deck. Whenever your opponent would burn, you would gain health, and then Fire Princess would burn. But no, that would just boost him.
Yeah, because that would just convert the Fire Princess burn into life point gaining. Which
then would cause her to do it again. Do they loop?
I don't know. There's probably some weird infinite loops. Let me check. Super Material Dragon, Cargo Links. There's probably several Cargo Links about this. Okay. The effect in which turns damage is also applied to your opponent in the damage tab beginning. It also has a decent anti-destruction effect. So let's see.
Marsh.
I don't think that would cause an infinite loop.
You don't?
Because it's a continuous. Or maybe we need to look at the Fire Princess rule. Because usually continuous. Well, maybe not. Because there's like the Jinzo ones.
Fire Princess would try to burn, but it would heal. And then because it healed, Fire Princess would burn. Read her effect again. Maybe I'm just interpreting.
Each time you gain life points. It
has to be you who gains it.
Yes.
So it wouldn't trigger.
Well, I mean, because the dragon converts damage to you into things as well.
But once Fire Princess's thing tried to activate and burn your opponent.
But it doesn't activate.
It would just boost.
It's continuous.
I'm saying that there's no. I'm saying there's no loop.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's no way that loop would work.
Because.
What's the flying squirrel thing?
Nimble Momanga?
Yeah.
That one gains life. Giant Germ inflicts damage. Oh, it's similar.
Really?
Yeah.
Interesting. I'm using it.
It's pretty old too. People use it for stalling and burn a little bit, really old.
Oh, he has to come in an attack position.
It's the same. Well, yeah, because Nimble Manga doesn't have to be an attack.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what you get for burn back in the day. The trade-offs.
Unnecessary trade-offs.
It's not unnecessary. It's not quite. They don't want to take the burn. But there's a great number of one-off traps that you can burn quite significantly for a chain burn, like Secret Barrel. What's the other one? Just Dessert, Ceasefire. There's Secret Blast. Those are all non-continuous, but they're also, if used in a chain burn, or even multiple times, if you give your opponent a bunch of monsters with some token thing, Ojama tokens, you can inflict quite a bit of damage. Shadow Persistence of Ohm, which used to be part of Blackwing OTKs.
So this one is going to try and stall by just having Monster Wall.
Oh, kind of skip. I mean, it's just like a weaker scapegoat. You know, you can't like summon other things that turn.
So I'm gonna have like these things that my opponent's trying to get through, but as they try to get through it, everything else is trying to hurt them.
I don't know if the stall monsters would work particularly. But in any case, if you're gonna have that much token generation with Scapegoat and Scapegoat, you can have like a full like Link side deck. Or not side deck, extra deck. Like
Are there any like burn Link?
No, but just like Linkmon, like for offensive or something. I don't know. It's just it seems like it'd work even less than just having like Messenger of Peace, because now, you know, they can just like write Geki the board.
Right, and then go on.
Or something, you know, like it's there's a lot more monster removal type things than spell and trap removal that is commonly used in decks. Kind of.
This is gonna be weird.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, okay.
You use most of the time on this like, terrible deck buildings.
You're not wrong.
It's like 152.
152? We got 8 minutes. Ryan, jump in here.
I also don't have a lot of battery. All that research, I got like 3.
Why didn't you plug in?
Because
there are outlets all over this room. There's this one guy named Paul who's here. Sorry, Paul. You're in. You gotta get to XUXV.
Let's go with this. Go first. I think I'll show you exactly what I was talking about. I was using one of those stones to make it sound crappy. Oh no, not chain energy. Scapegoat. Ha. I'll summon all of them before chain energy is online, so I won't get burned. Or do I get burned? Per card? No, yeah. Oh, that one's useful. Let's see. I'll still take a bunch of damage in the Link summonings. Just told you 500 to declare an attack. Let's see.
Did chain energy not care about any of your Link summons?
Oh, it's only summons from the hand, right? I forgot about that, yeah.
Thanks, Ryan.
Was that not useful?
Is there another one that does special summons in general? Right.
I don't think so.
You don't think so? Oh. I was curious what had happened. I was like, no effect? Question mark.
Oh no, not chain burst. Curse of Dog.
Isn't there one for every time a monster gets sent from the field to the graveyard?
Yeah.
And if so, does that have to be by battle or just in general?
I think it's just in general.
What
There's a
card
Coffin
is that?
Seller. There's a couple like that. I think one of them is every time a monster, and then there's one is like every card. They're both like 300 damage. Let's go with.
Jiragido. Jiragido.
It's also for sets, so it'll like hit you for doing backgrounds as well.
Dang. I really wish I had the when monsters go from the field to the graveyard thing. I feel like that works really well against like Link. Most summoning things have to do with sending something to the graveyard. Not always from the field though.
Spending too much life points on not really doing anything. There.
You should win.
To have a brimstone call. Burn land. Take the damage.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the best thing you can do. It just don't deal with it. Just don't activate anything. GG.
This is another thing. They can just not activate a lot of things. Be like, oh, just try and get like a big boss monster that can like destroy cards on the field like once a turn or something. Just attack. You just like drop like a blue eyes like a alternative. And just keep either destroying your opponent's monsters or doing anything.
True. Ooh, good game. Thank you all for watching, by the way. If you like this video, make sure to smash that like button.
I should just have like anti-burn side decks. Like Hanawata's and Prime Material Dragons or something.
Favorite, comment, subscribe.
Probably Hanawata's.
And ding ding ding, ring that notification bell so you know if I whenever we do these live streams. Thank you all once again for tuning in. This is your host, your friend, your boy, Jet Black, the one and only, here with
Jason guy.
Logging out. And make sure to tune in tomorrow for another one of our fan polls. We host them Monday through Thursdays. All you got to do is tune in before 1 p.m., comment on a fan poll video, and your comment will act as a vote for what you would like to watch that day at 1 p.m. Whatever gets the most votes is what we do on the channel. Thank you once again, and peace. Sorry that a lot of this was deck building. I'm just trying to try out different things.
It's not even different. It's like the same thing.
In a different way. Peace.